The Physics with Neat Details game, or PWND for short, was developed for the imagination stations in the Science and Engineering building at UCCS. The game was designed to teach middle schoolers about a number of physics topics, specifically gravity and lasers and light reflection and so on. And the game was developed by Peak Game Studios with a 7-member development team. 6 of those team members were and are UCCS students in game design and development, computer science, and art. And the 7th team member is the GDD program director as well as the CEO of Peak Game Studios. So I've started the game, and it is up to a 4-player game. The imagination stations have Xbox 360 controllers attached so that people who interact with the imagination stations can play using a reasonable controller. This is our tutorial screen that describes how the game actually works. Planets apply gravity to the probe. We try to guide it through the level to get all the way to the end. Our goal is shown in the lower right-hand part of this tutorial screen. The 4 challenges in the game. The first one, we're trying to avoid a UFO that chases the probe around. We try to get the probe away from that and to the goal. The second challenge, we're trying to pick up a space cat that's been stranded in space. The third challenge, we place all the planets within a certain time limit, and then we can't move those planets anymore, and we have to see if the probe reaches the goal successfully. And the final challenge is a straight timed challenge where we just use the planets to apply gravity. So I'm playing this as a single player, so the way I actually move between the different planets is I press the appropriate Xbox 360 controller button to pick which planet I want to currently control, and then I can move the planet around to guide the probe through the level, as you can see. Now we do give a chain of dots for the trajectory for the particular, for the probe's trajectory, so that yellow dots indicate that this is sort of a dangerous place for you to put the probe right now, and red of course means that you're going to crash and fail, so you don't want that at all. Now you'll actually notice that one of the things we worry about is actually running the probe into an asteroid, and even though we didn't get a red dot exactly where it was going to hit the asteroid, we did have a yellow dot there, and so people actually have to realize that you can't just rely on the color of the dots and sort of mindlessly do it. Yellow is still dangerous, even if it's not a guaranteed death. It could turn out to be one. So obviously I've tried again. We're going to see if I can actually get the probe all the way through to the end. And so one of the things that we had hoped would happen as people play this game together would be that they'd talk to each other so that they could coordinate the movements of the planets to, team up to apply the appropriate gravitational forces. And it turns out that people don't actually seem to play that way. They just sort of stare at the screen and mess with their controller and hope it all works out. You'll also notice that we have these little did you know facts that pop up randomly so that people who are observing people playing the game can actually have something interesting to do other than just watching the game. So I'm actually going to quit out of the game at this point. We could have played again or done a new challenge or something, but I want to end this clip now, and there'll be another clip that actually walks through the laser game, and of course the mandatory credit screen at the end of the game.